Okay guys, we're back with the S10 here. Just gonna try to fire it up today. That's the plan. Right now we're just draining out the old oil. Lots of metal due to break-in. That's okay, you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
We've already cut the filter on. This thing just has dyno time on it. So, while that's draining, I'm gonna come over here. Crack a beer. All right. Okay guys, so full disclosure here. You know, we're working on this thing. A lot of shit going on. So we just thought I gotta come clean and tell you that we made a little mistake.
Don't tell people that.
You don't think we should tell people that? Yeah, I know. Pretty much what's going on is we had the transmission in and whatnot, and that's when I realized that the flex plate was on backwards. Obviously me just rushing, which you shouldn't do, especially when you're dealing with like a high horsepower application. But you know, maybe I can help someone else out in the future. But I assumed that this flex plate was decals towards the back of the engine or towards the transmission. And anyways, there's little concave spots here, and that is supposed to face the engine side.
Where are these fucking header bullets? They're there. Never mind, quit looking.
Got them? This side here is actually, there's a little, you might be able to see it. There's a little lip there. That little lip needs to face the converter. And I had that pressed up against the crank on the engine. So anyways, there's no damage, but what I'm going to do, just because we're dealing with some high horsepower here, I'm going to replace this. It's SFI rated, but it was from 2015. So we're going to update that, and we're going to get a new flex plate and install it. This is Travis. Follow him on social media. What's your social media?
Don't own it.
Okay, so he doesn't have any social media. You can't follow him. Good mechanic. He's just finishing off putting the header bolts in and tightening all of them down.
Actually disturbing.
We're still going to try to run this today, but there's no promises that it's actually going to happen. Yeah, this is kind of where we're at. Okay, here we are back. New flex plates on. There, let's stick the camera in there. We're just torquing up the ARPs now.
Help.
85 foot-pounds on the ARP bolts with Loctite, the blue Loctite medium strength.
Click.
Now watch how much you're bouncing.
Hold it from the end.
Okay.
Are you holding it?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Hold on, we're doing two. Double clickies.
Couple clicky boys. Okay, so there we go. We're all torqued up there. See the torque stripes? Brand new flex plate. Let's show you guys real quick. They give you a tech card with the SFI rating. This one's SFI 29.1. The problem is though, I mean, it's you know, late March of 2019, and the one we ordered obviously has been sitting on the shelf because it's fucking June of 2018, which is a piss off, but I don't know. Whatever, what are you gonna do, right? Gotta roll with it. We got the vacuum pump. We're trying to mount this on the engine. Been a bit of an issue. We ordered this special mandrel from Moroso. I don't know what the part number is off of hand, but I'll link it down in the description. We have that. We also have the 6-inch small block, or I guess it's for any engine, but a 6-inch crank trigger for this balancer. We've used these pulleys with the little spacers to try to get the spacing right for the belt. This is just a mock-up belt. We need a shorter belt actually for this engine. And we also have to reposition the alternator onto the driver's side. So it's been a bit of an issue. Steering column's all finished and sturdy. I machined up that extension piece. So if you're using these headers, remember that you need to machine a piece of steel. Some other stuff down here. We ordered up these QAF1 double adjustable front shocks for the S10. Really nice piece. They're like billet aluminum, rebuildable. There's the 2 dials for compression and rebound, and they install in the stock location. I got the Lakewood 9010s in there right now, but I don't think that that's going to be sufficient anymore. We need some better shocks. So you can see there's the springs I'm using, 47205. Some other stuff, just trying to get all the fuel system and whatnot figured out. So we've mounted a, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's the Holley HP 150 pump. I've mounted it. I just got to run the lines to it and then out of it and whatnot, but that's coming along too. And then I have to wire it in with a relay. And now be advised, you got to wire in these pumps through an oil pressure switch, so that way in the event of an accident, the pump will also shut off. It won't just feed raw fuel into the engine if a line breaks or whatever. So when the engine dies, that pump also needs to die. And here's just a little suspension shot of the S10. It's got Caltrac sliders, Calvert split monoleafs, traction bars that I actually built myself. They're kind of a knockoff of Calvert, and then Calvert's 9-way adjustable shocks. 8.8 rear end, got strange 35 spline axles and a spool, and welded 9-inch ends on the end since you're not allowed to run C-clips at a certain speed. So yeah, it's coming along pretty good. Here's kind of the list on what we got to do. Finalize the balancer bolt, vacuum pump install, fuel system, bolt up the converter, some wiring, all the carburetor stuff, fenders, and then I also did a brake booster delete. So I removed the brake booster. I actually just cut out a plate. I traced out the gasket and cut out a plate. Now I just need to get a proper push rod. If you got any suggestions on what I should do about the push rod, just drop a comment below. And yeah, I'm excited to try out the crank trigger and the new ignition and new fuel system, and we should have this thing fired up probably in the next couple weeks and get it running and get ready for racing. Oh yeah, also the accumulator that I mounted, I need to run all the lines for that as well. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe, ask questions below. Feel free, or I'll do the best I can to answer them as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. Thanks guys.